Yeah, okay.
After the film, I realized, this is really what my life has come to. I stare out upon these trees and rooftops, and I wonder, what in God's name have I done to deserve this? Analyzing children's films for the sake of viewership and currency, when in reality, I haven't even reached that yet. I'm doing this all so I can eventually gain viewership and currency. It's a fucking vortex of hell. This isn't the life I wanted to live. This is not the life I wanted to.
So yeah, my haircut's bad. I get it. Please don't mention it down in the comments. And let's get straight to the video, because I think I'm going to tackle this movie from a more critical and analytic standpoint than when I usually talk about movies. So Christoper Robin is a film that I was recently dragged kicking and screaming to go see because I really had no interest in seeing this movie. Granted, I did enjoy the first trailer. I thought the first trailer was pretty decent and looked cute. Winnie the Pooh had a cute little line in it. But during the second trailer, I realized I saw the entire movie throughout the trailer. And it's quite a cliche that I despise in trailers because, oddly enough, movie trailers in and of themselves are starting to have cliches in them. You know, the Inception. Using a couple of clips at the very beginning of the trailer from the end to like keep your interest throughout the trailer. Very interesting how like media to advertise media is starting to gain more and more cliches. The same cliches that the media itself also shares, right? Interesting stuff. Nothing to do with the movie though. Anyways, I saw Christoper Robin, did not like it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was very bad at parts. And please don't dislike the video, oh my god. I look at Christoper Robin as a movie that's mostly inoffensive towards, you know, adults. I think adults could go see it and remember their childhood, see, hey, I saw Christoper Robin when I was a kid. Still cute, right? Yeah, it's still cute. But in reality, I think this movie is actually slightly harmful towards children. And I'm not being like a reactionist when I say that. I'm not. I do have legitimate belief and legitimate reason as to why I think this movie might not be the best idea to show your children. Let me get into that. Let me explain before I get all these hate comments. First off, there were a couple things I did enjoy about the movie. I thought Ewan McGregor's performance as Christoper Robin was pretty nice. He was a charming young lad. I thought all the voice acting was pretty awesome also. I thought the actors who played Winnie the Pooh or Piglet or Tigger or Eeyore especially all did great jobs in portraying these characters that I love from my childhood, because I also grew up with Winnie the Pooh watching it at my grandmother's house, so I enjoy quite a bit too. And I'm not viewing this just through nostalgia goggles, because I obviously didn't like this movie. A thing about this movie I didn't quite enjoy was the color palette. I thought it didn't look quite excellent a lot of the times. I thought the 100 Acre Woods was devoid of color most of the time. Also, I thought it was kind of weird there were World War II scenes in a Winnie the Pooh movie. It threw me off a little bit, to be honest with you. But no, the main reason why this movie struck me as something that might be potentially harmful towards children is the core message that it portrayed here. And obviously, it's a cliched movie. When I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this is obviously cliched. He's a working man who doesn't have time for his family, so Winnie the Pooh and friends are gonna teach him how to be a family man again. You've seen it 1,000 times before. Alvin and the Chipmunks, you know, the Smurfs, tons of other garbage animated movies, which this isn't as bad as that. It has some charm to it. But the message itself actually took a slightly different turn than I anticipated, and a turn that wasn't very welcome by me. It was a turn that I thought actually hurt the movie much more than it helped it. So Christoper Robin works for a job. He's not the head of the job, he's not the CEO or anything, he's simply a man who has to give a proposal. Told his family that he was gonna go on vacation with them this weekend, however, because the proposal is, you know, moving up, Christoper Robin actually has to stay this weekend and do it instead of going out with his family. Now this is a completely and utterly legitimate reason to not spend time with your family. Usually in a movie like this, it would be like, well, honey, I really want this raise, and I should probably, or it's like for a selfish reason, like, oh, I really want to outdo my partner here. But no, it's like, this is something he has to do to keep his job. And if he wants to keep his family happy and fed and inside of a house, then yeah, he's gonna have to do this. So, he and his daughter, okay. One thing about this movie I will commend is that he does treat his daughter a little oddly. He does read her like history books for bedtime story and is like, you gotta go to this special school because I went to that school and I'm successful and not happy. And you know, that's really on this thing. It's on the nose. But other than that, I completely agree with Christoper Robin. I thought he was a character that admittedly could like be potentially nicer to his daughter and more understanding towards her childhood, but other than that, I think he was in the right the entire film, especially the ending, which you could see from a mile away. It's like Christoper Robin left his papers in the 100-acre woods because of plot convenience, basically, so the animals had to come out and give it to him and save the day. But Christoper Robin realized, I don't need these papers. It's all good spending time with my family and abandoning my job and... So yeah, Christoper Robin was basically fired at this point in the movie. His CEO kicked him out of the room. He was like, look, you don't have your plans, you're fired. And Christoper Robin was like, okay, that's good. I can spend more time with my family. That's a horrible message to send a kid, is to, look, being a kid is great, right? Creativity, you're free of all responsibility. But a message this movie could have tried to convey that it didn't was when you grow up, you have responsibility and you can't spend all your time playing. And this movie makes it seem like you can do that, which it's just not that black and white, you know? Life is complicated, it's moving, it's always going forward so fast that you can't even comprehend what's going on sometimes. And Christoper Robin really needed to do that proposal so his family could have an even better life than they currently have. And because of Winnie the Pooh and Friends, he didn't get it. Actually, oh wait, he did. They gave him his papers back, and he decided, oh, I don't need these. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna go in there and say, you know what you need to change, CEO? Nothing. Let me tell you how this happened. He went in the room, CEO, you know what you need to change? Nothing. And give us a fucking vacation too, you bloke. And the CEO went, by golly, you're right. Also, hey, my son, you're fired because you went golfing. That's not an honest portrayal of how life actually works, and I saw it as a little offensive, actually, that you would portray life in this way that tells kids, hey, when you grow up, don't have responsibilities. Just, if you're just a good, friendly, you know, if you're a good, friendly, and creative person, life will work out for you. Don't work at all. Please do not take any of your responsibilities seriously, and instead, go play with your imaginary friends in the woods. Am I looking too deeply into it? Yes. But was there any other type of substance to get out of this movie other than the animals are cute? No. And honestly, Winnie the Pooh wasn't even that cute in this movie. They looked like stuffed animals. A lot of the color was taken out of them. Tigger was just like more gray instead of orange. Honestly, kind of despised it. Now, looking back at this movie a few weeks later, I realized maybe I was a little too tough on it on initial viewing. Sure, the acting's pretty good, the voice acting is great, and honestly, it's not gonna ruin a kid's life or anything, but there are so many more chances this movie could have taken to make a smart point, a satirical view on the Winnie the Pooh storyline, but instead they just took the most basic, most cliched and boring plot point. Spend more time with your family. Be more creative. Be more whimsical. And when it's obviously such a realistic storyline where Christoper Robin has been through war before, it's just, it contradicts each other a lot, man, and I don't like that at all. That's just my honest opinion on the Winnie the Pooh, sorry, not Winnie the Pooh, it's Christoper Robin. It's Christoper Robin's movie. I thought it could have been improved upon a lot. I did get a small nostalgic blast out of seeing these characters again, I did, especially since the voice acting for them was so great. Eeyore got a couple of laughs out of me, I will admit. I thought Eeyore was probably the best character in the film. Ewan McGregor did fine. The cinematography was decent, even if the shot compositions were colorless, and I thought there could have been a lot more pizzazz added to the presentation. Ultimately, I look at this film and I see wasted opportunity that harms children more than helps them, even if it isn't like, it probably isn't like the terrible, atrocious childhood-ending nightmare that I portrayed it to be. But I still do believe it could potentially harm some children. So my final rating for this movie, I would give it a 4.103 out of 10. That's about it. That's how I truly saw the Christoper Robin movie. I needed to get it out there because it was burning a hole in my chest, boy. I needed to be honest and get that sin out of my body. Don't see this movie. It will destroy your children. That's all I've got for this video. Set.